Hi, everybody. Hi, Julie, Kenneth, Lori. Welcome to the Wednesday evening live tutorial stream. I also find it really amusing that I have seen comments from Kenneth, Lori, and Julie, and yet my viewer count says that I only have two viewers, so that's incredibly, exciting and accurate. So, welcome to Let's Use Chemicals to Make Metals Cool Colors. So, chemicals and patina on copper. So, this is if you've got the time to experiment, this is actually a really, really fun um, thing to mess with. Like, hey, if I turn on my light, that would be great. If I put these chemicals onto this metal, what is it going to do with it? Like the engineer DNA in me is like, that's really freaking cool. So I mind my brain and ooh, what are you cooking, Julie? I have barely eaten all day, so I'm pretty sure whatever you say is gonna be, I'm gonna be envious of it. But so I mind my brain and like the things that I've learned in the past about how to create patina on copper using chemicals. And then I kind of mind the internet. And I'm going to say, just hashtag spoiler alert, that the internet was very disappointing. The things that I knew have by and large worked. I think that's a band name, Julie, that you just posted up there. Cause okay, I have a grilled hamburger that I did not. I fell asleep on the couch last night again for like the third night in a row. I did not eat dinner. So I have a hamburger that I will probably be eating during the working and talking stream that we are going to be having after this because it's true. No, Mamie is 100. Okay, so Mamie, my Mamie, my adorable little Mamie bun of cute black and white perfectionism of just adorableness will only cuddle with me if I am on the couch. She will not cuddle with me anywhere else in the house. And so, but if I'm on the couch, she'll like tuck herself in behind my knees and she'll do like cute little, cat ball thing. And then I can't move. Can't move. Can't, it's impossible. Because there's a Mamie ball, there's a Mamie bun, and it's got its own gravitational field and I can't move. And so then the upshot of not being able to move is after, a day of working, then after being inert for a certain amount of time, I fall asleep. And so then I wind up sleeping on the couch. But it's all the fault of the Mamie ball. That is my downfall. But it's just such a cute little bun of adorableness. And it's got beans, such good beans. Like, I mean, I can't, it's just irresistible. Like I cannot resist the gravitational pull of the Mamie ball. It just is what it is. But anyway, so yeah. So I mind the internet, I mind my brain, and here we are with textures and patina on copper. Oh, that's every once in a while. Maybe we'll make like a biscuits on my calf, which is super sweet because she's super independent. Because she's a former feral and is definitely like, you human exist to feed me, and that is all. So like anytime she's like, oh, once again, cannot get up. But yay, goose, because that's amazing. Okay, so textures and patina on copper. So basically, chemicals interact with metals, and sometimes produce cool things and sometimes produce nothing. So once again, I went to the internet to try and expand my knowledge of patinas on copper, and what I got was a whole lot of, hi Corvus. Yeah, what I got was a whole lot of bupkis, which I will share with you in just a moment. So again, welcome everyone to the Beading Dreams Wednesday evening live tutorial stream. I'm so happy that you're here with me this evening. Heather and I are going to be doing a working and talking stream after this instead of a podcast because, as usual, we have a deadline. Yes, and only 7? We have a lot of deadlines, so we're going to work on knocking at least one of those deadlines out tonight. So we are just going to be doing a chatting stream as our buttonless stream tonight. Before that, I'm going to talk about chemicals and copper. So copper is a metal that has a really good reactive properties. So that means that it reacts to a lot of things, which is nice for patina because it means that you can, spray a bunch of chemicals on it and it will turn into something cool. Except, internet, fail, internet, extra fail. So, let's talk about copper and patina. Okay, so one of the most well-known ways to patina copper with color is ammonia and salt. And so that is what I did actually during the stream last week when I was doing the pennant necklace. And okay, so this is my homemade fuming chamber. So if you're going to patina copper with ammonia and salt, what you need is you need an airtight or relatively airtight vessel that you can contain the copper in, and then you need to either spray it with ammonia and sprinkle it with salt, or you can actually spray an ammonia coated paper towel, put it in there, put the copper on there and sprinkle it with salt. Now, I had intended to do this, but I did not get around to it because things happened today. But you actually will get different colors of patina depending on the type of salt that you use. So this one is ammonia and sea salt. Kosher salt will give you a slightly different patina. Iodized salt will give you a slightly different color of patina. And I really wanted to try ice cream salt, which I did bring to work, but unfortunately, I did not actually manage to do. So this is, and also, by the way, so there are chemical colorants for metal that are designed for this. They work really quickly. The more, I did say ice cream salt, Corvus, because just Google it. They work very quickly. Your more homegrown patinas, hi Keiko, your more homegrown patinas take longer. So this particular piece that is in here, which I do want to put a little bit more light on, has been going. It's been marinating, as it were, since Friday? I think it was Saturday. Like, it's been marinating for a while. So the homegrown patinas, they take longer. Yes, correct. You are right, Keiko. Ice cream salt equals rock salt. So basically salt and nothing else. No additional iodine or anything else. So we're going to go ahead and start with, this one is since Friday. Thank you, Lori, for keeping me honest and, aware. Okay, so this one's been marinating since Friday. So this one is ammonia, just regular cleaning ammonia that I put in a spray bottle. And I spritzed the ammonia on the copper, and then I sprinkled the salt on, and then I checked it actually on Friday, because it was, yeah, I checked it on Friday and it was not to my standards, so I respritzed it, resprinkled it, re-enclosed it because the lid to this container was not really doing an airtight seal, and then left it until today. So now we shall unveil what the heck has happened to this piece of copper. So again, this was ammonia and salt, and this has been fuming for 72 hours or so. So let's go ahead and crack into this and see what it has it done. What have you done? All right, so this is just a, woo! Yes, that is ammonia, ladies and germs. No germs, because ammonia. No, ask your question, Keiko. This is a very free-form lesson, because all I'm really doing is talking about chemicals and patina, and then I might bash on some copper in a bit. Okay, so, all right, so this is my ammonia and salt fumed patina, which is, not surprisingly stinky. Right? It was angry. It was angry. It was angy. It was fuming. You sit there. Actually, the salt acts as the reverse of a resist, if that makes sense. So where the salt is touching, okay, why? Why no light? Why no light? I have so many lights, and yet it's so dark, and I am annoyed by that. Okay, so, and yes, we shall focus. There we go. So the salt actually acts, yeah, as the reverse of a resist. So wherever the salt is touching the metal, where it has been partially dissolved by the ammonia, that's where the color happens. So the somewhat sometimes disappointing thing is this, which just happened to me. So unfortunately, the color doesn't always bond to the metal. So you can see, like, I have lots of beautiful turquoise colored salt here, and my metal is meh. Hi, Susan. It's colored around the edges, but that's about it. So there are artists out there who are brilliant, absolutely brilliant with natural patinas. I am not one of them. So, couple of questions to answer, and then I'm gonna talk about how those of us who somehow failed Chemistry 101, like, I mean, there's a little bit of patina on that, but there's really not much, can actually succeed in patinating copper and other metals so that they look cool. So, Corvus asked, will the color wear off when you start wearing it? And the answer is yes, unless you seal it. So you can use... Thank you, Julie. And yes, same. So, yes, any patina, any finish of any kind that comes in contact with your skin is going to start wearing off when you wear it. So if you have patinated a piece of copper and you're like, this is the most beautiful piece of copper ever on the planet, and I want it to stay exactly as it is, yes, you need to seal it with something. Protect-A-Clear or another clear sealant is generally the go-to as far as the industry goes. You can also just use straight up clear nail polish if you wanna MacGyver it. I do have a lovely ammonite bracelet that has a beautiful ammonia and salt patina, one of the only ones that I've ever managed to produce that has been what I would consider really good, and I sealed that one with Protect Clear, and also it's a concave bangle, so the patina's on all the concave side, and the non-patina side is what touches my skin. So that's another thing, is planning your patination so that your patina isn't contacting your skin. Kenneth has a good point. If you etch the surface first, like if you rough it up with some sandpaper, there's a really good chance that the patina would stick better because you would have more, more kind of grooves and porosity for it to hang out in. So yes, sanding or etching or even scraping with a file the surface first would probably yield you better results. So that was ammonia and salt. Again, that was spritzed with ammonia, sprinkled with sea salt, and fumed for 72 hours. Now, let's go to the internet. So I Googled, just, for my own edification, patinas on copper for the internet, and I got 2 recipes. Miracle Grow and vinegar, soak for 30 minutes. Miracle Grow and water, soak for 30 minutes. I'm about to pull these pieces of copper out. I think that Protect Clear, the brand is, okay, all jewelry lacquer is basically similar to clear nail polish, but I feel like there might be some differences. Okay, so Miracle Grow and vinegar, soak for 30 minutes. Yields a beautiful green verdigris patina on copper. Nope. Nope. So much nope. So you can skip right past that on your Pinterest feed and just give that Miracle Grow to your plants. And then Miracle Grow and water yields a beautiful blue verdigris patina on copper. I'm sure you're all waiting with bated breath for what you know is coming, which is, once again, and soak for 30 minutes. Like, I followed the instructions, y'all, which is not my typical MO, but also I just dropped it on the floor. So maybe if I soak these for 72 hours, then, maybe something would work better. But again, Miracle Grow and water yields a beautiful blue patina on copper. And once again, hard no. Shiny copper, bare copper. There's no sealant on this copper. There's nothing that I should have had to polish off before putting it in the patina. So this is just a bunch of internet hooey. The sealant chipping off Keiko is definitely a problem. So when you're patinating something and sealing it, the main issue, in my experience, is flexion. So if I were gonna patina something like this piece from the other night and seal it, the sealant would probably be fine because this piece is just going to string on a chain and it's not going to have to flex at all. Whereas if you're doing something like a bracelet, like specifically like a cuff bracelet or something that's going to need to flex and release, that's where your problems arise with your surface sealants, like Protect Clear, Clear Coat, all of those things, is because they're not flexible. So, I mean, my solution is just don't patinate anything that has to be flexible. But there are sealing systems that are flexible, that are very expensive. Like there's a clear ceramic ceiling that is brilliant and works fantastically well, and it's about a $3,000 or $4,000 setup. So for most of us, that's kind of out of the reach of what we can do. Corbis thinks that UV resin would work. UV resin is flexible, so there's that. So earring posts, so one of the people with whom I consult just uses gold-filled earring posts and then coats the rest with the ceramic sealant. Rings, the wearing on the inside, it's just a thing that's going to happen. So Julie uses UV resin on polymer clay. So that might be a thing that maybe we could explore in a future tutorial, is UV resin or just regular air cure resin as a sealant for patina. But for now, we're going to focus on actual patina and not necessarily the sealing. So we're going to go with the things that work for Allison, because Allison is not a whisperer of the chemicals and the natural materials, okay? I was born in a city. I was raised in a city. I did natural things. They don't necessarily speak to me. So we have chemicals that are made to turn metal colors, and that is what works for me. So I've got two different brands of green patina. Here I've got Midas brand green patina, and I've got Jack's brand green patina. So, I mean, basically they're both room temperature oxidizing for brass, bronze, and copper. They're very similar products, but it is like Coke and Pepsi. It's not exactly the same result, and we will see that in just a minute, because we have, okay, so the Midas brand green is here. Who out there thinks that looks more blue than green besides me? And then this is the Jack's brand green, which looks more teal, but at least is more in the green range. So I'm gonna take out, and I hope Silverin isn't here, because yes, I should be wearing gloves and I'm not. It's okay. I promise I won't die. So, all right, so this is the Midas green, which is actually very blue. So we're gonna take a second, and we're gonna, because whenever you patina, there's always going to be like kind of a surface film that you've got to get off. So we're going to get that surface film off, and this is what we have. So this is what's left with like the actual Midas that reacted with the surface of the metal. So all I did with the Midas is I just took a paintbrush and I literally like dabbed it all over that. So that is a legitimate, like, I can't rub that off. So that's a legitimate reactive patina on the copper with the Midas. So this is the Midas green patina, but as Keiko observed, not exactly green. Definitely very blue, but very pretty. You will notice that a side effect of the copper patina is oftentimes you get darker spots on the copper as well, which kind of tends to highlight the patina, but you do need to be aware that that's going to happen, because the only shiny spots on this copper are apparently where I did not actually manage to get the patina. And yes, you can reapply if you want more. So I could, and the developing time for this is very quick. So that's the other thing about, you know, the chemical, like, hey, this is supposed to make metal a color, is it works much more quickly. The higher the drying temperature, the greener the color. Okay, interesting. So yes, and so this theoretically should create a patina in 1 to 3 minutes. This one actually sat for about 30 minutes. And then if you want to preserve the patina, the manufacturer does suggest that you seal it in some way. I did forget until I read that bottle that in addition to like Protect-A-Clear and spray sealants, there's also Renaissance wax and car wax, which are also ways to seal patina. So that's your Midas green patina. And no, you're not crazy. It really does look blue, but it's very firmly seated on the metal. Like it's not flaking off as I am messing with it. If it's something that's going to be contacting your skin, you definitely would want to seal it, but it's a very cool patina all in all. And I do have some copper. We're going to do a little bit of heat patina, I think, at the end of the stream. Okay, so that was the Midas green patina. This is the Jack's green patina, which is much more greener. It's still not green. I would call it teal. So this one, okay, so the bond to the metal is definitely not as firm because it was completely coated, and I'm literally just wiping it with a paper towel and it is coming off. So it still looks cool, but so this is the Jack's green patina. So this would definitely, once again, be a situation like Kenneth suggested where roughing it up with some sandpaper might be a good idea. The color is lovely. It's this beautiful tealy, greeny blue color. And what's left after I'm done wiping it is on there. Like it is on there. And there's even like the back is even really cool. And that's just from it, you know, basically sitting on it. But once again, it's flaking off pretty badly. So I would say if you're going to use the Jack's green patina, definitely you would want to rough up your pieces. You can even, like, I can even see on the camera, like this right here, it's about to just, there we go, flake off. Like, bye-bye. So when you're doing patina, a couple of things to think about that I didn't do just because I kind of wanted to see if I just like chunk the things in the chemicals, what would happen. So you want to make sure your metal is clean, meaning you want to clean it off. More patina flaking off. You want to clean the surface with denatured alcohol or some other solvent just to make sure there's not any oil on the surface. You want to make sure that, look at this beautiful yeah, bye-bye, done. So yeah, not a fan of the Midas, sorry, of the Jack's on just a completely unprepared piece of metal. So the moral of the story here is prepare your metal properly. So clean it with some denatured alcohol or rubbing alcohol. Rough it up a little bit with some sandpaper, and then apply your chemicals, and hopefully they will work better for you than they did for me. But I am going to, before we end, show you the one thing that definitely always works, which is fire. Fire is the solution to so many things. So torch patina, or flame painting, whatever you want to call it, is a really cool way of getting color on copper. Specifically, it really only works with copper. It doesn't work with other things. But if you really want to rough it up right, seriously, like, it's like a really bad date, but you end up with really cool colors. But we are going to take a second and talk about torch patina, because torch patina is really fun. Also unpredictable, but definitely can give you some really cool results. If I can get my camera to focus. Okay, so let's talk real quick about torch patina on copper. So copper, when it's heated, will change colors. And if you do it right, you can preserve that color and then you can use it in your designs. You do still have to seal it though. If you just torch patina it and leave it, it is not going to stay that color. Eventually, the nature will take its course and it will become just dark copper oxidized. And at that point, if you want to recolor it, your only option is to clean it up and then heat it again. So let's talk about torch patina. Torch patina is all about timing. So I'm going to take my torch, light it up, and I'm going to heat my piece of copper. And what's going to happen, let's see, there we are, is first it's going to turn dark and then it's going to start turning colors. And so when I pull my flame off of it, that's when I get the cool colors. And if I take it too long, then it's just going to get dark. So for me, it's always about like, yeah, like it's less is more when you're doing torch patina. See, so there's all the colors. And the colors typically happen when you take the torch off. Okay, so there we go. So we've got this one that kind of looks like Jupiter. We've got this one that I heated way too long, so that one's basically gray. This one's got cool kind of greens and pinks. This one has this really gorgeous red around the edge. And then this one's got kind of a double halo where I heated and then heated again. So that's torch patina copper. You can, like, I'm going to say that as far as this goes, this one and this one were my most successful tonight. No, the gray one has some cool looking banding. You're not wrong, Keiko, but it just doesn't have a lot of color variation. So again, torch patina on copper, that's something that you can Google. There's a whole art form about that, and it's really stinking cool. And again, I'm not great at it, but that is another way that you can color copper in addition to all of the chemicals that I've showed you. And then I realized that part of this tutorial was supposed to be texture, but you can texture your copper with a lot of things, like a hammer or another hammer or another hammer or another hammer. So we're gonna maybe save that for another tutorial. So I think that I need to eat some dinner. So Heather and I will be back at 7:15, 7:30-ish with a working and talking stream instead of the button list, but feel free to start collating your questions now because we are happy to chat and answer any questions that you have. But that's your part one of texture and patina on copper. So that's the Jupiter one. That's definitely my favorite one. But I'm going to do more about patinas and textures on copper, specifically patinas, because they're really fun. This is the other one, which turned out really cool. And then the last three are just kind of me. But anyway, so we'll be back on this channel. Ouch, that's hot. Twitch.tv/beadingdream in about 20 minutes or so after I have had something to eat. And we'll be working and chatting, so think about what you want to ask us, because it is going to be an Ask Me Anything stream for the both of us. So everyone have a great 30 minutes, and we will see you back on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream in 30. Bye, y'all.